All right, here we go. We are streaming, Mr. Narlin. Be a brief pause. Every time I do this, I have to move my toolbars around.
I'm famous.
Park him so that he doesn't commit suicide. And we are off to the races.
You emerge from the jungle into an open clearing, only to spot a figure beckoning to you. As you approach, you realize that the flickering form is some kind of astral projection or illusion. Footsteps can be heard from further down the path.
Alright, and here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna run and we're gonna fight a whole bunch of lizard guys. I've seen this place before.
The door opens into an extensive system of stone caverns.
Basically, we're gonna run down a whole bunch of hallways and we're gonna fight a whole bunch of lizards. Extraordinarily exciting. But as you can see, having a friend along helps the process immensely.
The door opens, revealing a lush waterfront. Twisting paths lead deep into the dense jungle.
As you can see, these aren't particularly challenging mobs, but it's going to get a little more testy up in here.
Several giants have set up camp in a
By
secluded
several, they mean
spot.
a lot of
You spy some kind of lever amongst the pits.
Otherwise, this fight can get really Is that Fel Farron in the chat? Chest. Fortunately, everybody here can unlock. Let's see if Nars luck holds up. Looks like nobody got anything. If you're lucky in there, you can pull a cloak of giants, I believe it's called, which is a nifty little cloak if you don't have anything better. Where's my robot? I lost my robot. This is This is undignified right here, what's happening. I'm not proud of this. Alright, there we go. That's more like it. And along the god bots making bombs of people. Now we play with the kitties. Outstanding. We're making this look pretty easy. This quest can get ugly in a hurry if you're not careful. But we've got a lot of AoE, which, but for those of you who don't know what that term means, AoE is area of effect. Lets us blow a bunch of guys up.
A distant sound tells you that a ward has been disabled.
That's bad time. Blow a bunch of guys up and then pick off the stragglers. Here we go. Here's my godbot is taking a day off. So I'll just be down here winning the quest. And more of these night levels chests. If I'm very fortunate, I might get all the way to level 20 to farm those quests again. That would be super zazzy. Get stoned.
With the magical barrier dispelled,
Go visit the lizard
you
king.
can now explore deeper into the cavern.
Inside joke between me and my vocalist. If it doesn't make any sense, that's okay.
The sound of a door rumbling open can be heard to the east.
In case any of you are wondering who haven't figured it out,
One of the
Ireland's playing
fiercest
favorite soul
lizard
build,
folk has
which
made
is why
this
he's
room into
able
its
to
den. The creature
cast
hisses menacingly as you approach.
Helmet Fall, even though theoretically he doesn't have enough favorite soul levels to cast the spell itself. Oh, this is going not all the way I'd hoped. And this whole thing I'm doing right now is completely optional. You don't have to do this at all, but
The creature emits a guttural groan and collapses.
Because he doesn't even drop anything good. Box of rocks. There we go. Now comes the least fun part of this. This whole section has a bunch of moving platforms, and it turns into a really bad time if you don't know what you're doing.
You pull the lever, and a distant platform suddenly begins moving.
You also get to lag off of these things, which is why people hate it so much. Alright, let's try this again with enthusiasm. I will be the designated jumper. It's always best to wait for them to actually stop, because where you think they are and where they actually end up are two different things. You can see it kind of hitches in the process. Now what we need to do is there are also these levers, and you have to hit the levers to turn off things. Once their faces turn red, they stop the wind gust, but unfortunately, if they're already blowing, then it still keeps blowing. It doesn't turn it off completely. Try this again. Another lever, another platform. And Nara's going to pike over there in his standard piking position and wait until I bring the ladder down. And, I did not get it. I thought I had it. I was going to get it. What's my feeling? Also, these barrels have a bow and arrow in them, so you are so piking. I promised him I would badmouth him on the stream, so here we are. Alright, so these guys are turned off. But now I gotta hit this switch on the fly to turn those ones off, or else it's gonna be a bad timeout. Did not. Now he's being salty about it. So salty. See, that's him down there being salty. So salty. Alright, he says he's shooting the levers. It remains to be seen if that's actually going to happen. But I want to believe him. Gonna get the emerald prize for seeing a girl from Ipanema. Alright, and that's how that's supposed to look. And then I jump over here. And let Salty Nar climb the ladder. No, I'm sorry, it's not a ladder, it's a platform. My bad. Anyway, while we're waiting on that, I'm gonna go and shoot some guys.
Releasing a sudden blast of moist air.
Oh, look. A sudden Reaper. What are the odds of that happening? And the answer is exceptionally good. He did spot me heal, so I guess I can't badmouth him too much. And then that girl just hanging out there for no particular reason we can figure out.
Giantish ruins dominate this large clearing. You can make out the outlines of small dwellings in the distance, but a magic barrier blocks exploration in that direction. With the lizard folk defeated, Alanithris calls for you to come to the front gate.
Yeah, then we talk to... Alright. I'll leave you to read that yourself, if you want to watch it on the VOD later. Okay, now I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to run down here and shoot some guys in the face.
This passageway has collapsed, but a hole has been excavated to give access to the hallway below.
Oh, that was a mistake. Really exactly was on Reaper. Anytime monsters spawn, you can get a Reaper, and anytime you kill a monster, you can get a Reaper. But sometimes they can just show up all on their own. So it's a fair safe bet that if you run into a big pack of trash, you are going to wind up with a Reaper on your hands. Fear Reapers can be particularly nasty because you can't really kill them fast enough by about level 11 to not get hit with their damage over time effect. So it's a little bit frustrating. But I won't give you my complete salted rant about why Reapers are the worst thing that was ever brought into this game. Right now, anyway. Don't get stoned. Don't touch lizards. Always want to prioritize getting the Reaper. They will kill you faster than everything else. Okay, wait. Call my hireling. I don't want to be the guy that dies on stream. See, no, there you go. Suicidal hireling. He could have healed me, but he'd rather run off and get killed. There we go. Now, a smart person you would probably be using my... Excuse me. Noel's Bard. However, I completely forgot I just took level 12 and that I have it right now. Alright.
As the lever activates, energy pulses into the central chamber.
So now I am going to do it. This little ability does is it allows me to fire without having to reload. Just continue firing. That is one of the strongest abilities in the game.
The lever is pulled, and energy
And
begins
when
to
this
flow
first
towards the
launched,
central
it
chamber.
was the strongest ability in the game. When Inquisitive launched, that is. Inquisitive has since gone through quite a few nerfs, since it was so much stronger than everything else. But they tend to prioritize making the new trees and classes much stronger at launch, and then balancing them out later. Now this is the genuine undignified way of fighting a Reaper, but I want to live. There's Nar. The other side of this place is exactly the same as the side I just went down. So there's nothing else to see over there. It's just another
Unnatural
room full of
cold
junk.
radiates throughout this room, which is dominated by a glowing magic device. 2 gems adorn the control panel that Alanithris mentioned.
There's also a hilariously large hitbox. Alright, easy one to start. Maybe 3 and then 4 and then 5.
The gate to the west slides open,
Go.
clearing the way into Dunalenthia's chamber.
Come hireling over and get a heal because I'm bad at video games. For those of you who don't read Spanish, if you might be in the chat, Molienda Secreta is my terrible translation of secret grinding, because I make fun of my guildies for coming online to run quests without me all the time. Which of course they do, so they completely deserve it. However, the joke is my bad Spanish, not that they're grinding.
Dunalenthia stands stiffly on the platform above. Her unnatural movements
And he also
tell
says
you
it's
that
lies,
she's
but it's
being
completely true.
magically
Don't believe a
compelled
word
by
he
the
says.
cultists surrounding her.
Right. Weaver here. If you want, there's a collectible down in the water there. I don't know that anybody ever actually gets that thing. those guys. And this guy's the only one we really need to kill, so he'll be done in a minute.
Orlanthe falls,
Boom.
releasing Dunalenthia from her magical compulsion.
Talk to the dragon. Thank you for dealing with Orlanthe, and apologies for any harm I might have done to you. But where's Orlanthris? Please tell me she's alright. Orlanthris is fine. And so the Dragonborn settlement. What happened here? My fault, I suppose. I underestimated the cultists when they attacked. But Orlanthe had some kind of powerful magical artifact capable of controlling me. He kept going on about his master and how he had sent him to some giantish artifact that would bring about Zendrik's ruin. Very ominous indeed. Please help yourself to some of the things I've found up in these ruins. It's the least I can do after trying to kill you. Don't mind if I do. That's a very generous thing for a dragon to say. Alright. And nothing I want. Alright, we'll jump on out of here. Alright, and we'll move on to the second quest here. Let's see what we got. The chamber shares many mutual interests with your people, Sulka. Stopping the cult of the Dragonblood is one of them. We've had reports that one of the cults is searching for ancient giantess artifacts in the interior of Zendrik. We've sent Ergnonth, one of our own, to go and protect the site far from Stormreach. We haven't heard from him, and we fear that he has run afoul of a cult. Where did Ergnonth disappear, and why didn't the chamber send a dragon to find him? What does it call? One with giantess artifacts. Cults of the Dragonblood seek to return to the day Kyber was ascended and demons ruled over Eberron. The ancient giants possess many forms of powerful magic forgotten today. Perhaps they had some magical method of releasing demons from Kyber, or even worse. And why is the chamber suddenly so interested in the cults of the dragon below? We dragons don't want the age of demons to return any more than your kind does. But yes, I must confess there's more to it than that. This particular cult is unusually well organized, and if the rumors are true, the cult may have connections to Arganesson itself. That sounds insane, but we, or rather you, must investigate to be sure. Where did Ergnoth disappear, and why didn't you send a dragon after him? The last we heard, Ergnoth was near a complex of giantish ruins. As for why the chamber isn't sending dragons to find him, well, here things become sensitive. In his last message, Ergnoth said he'd spotted a pair of dragons, a black and a blue, nearby. The chamber was no idea what these dragons or what they're up to. A conflict amongst dragons might become a matter of political concern back on Arganescence, but no one will notice a few adventurers poking around in the wilderness. So we're asking you to look into this, and if you're willing, I will send you to the giantish ruins. Alright, send me there. So here we go. Ooh, and I'm bad at my job and forgot my hireling. Okay. So now I'm going to have to rely on Nar. So the pool starts now on how fast I die. Pray for me, chat. Pray for me.
The Chamber of Arganesson assigned an agent named Ergnoth to guard several powerful artifacts in this area. But Ergnoth hasn't reported in for some time. You've been sent to find out what happened to him. To the east is a large portal with 3 dormant runes above it. An excited form behind the portal beckons you closer.
Sorry, shouldn't talk over the narrator. That's my fault. Thanks, guys. The chamber sends you? We must move quickly. Korkaza and her cult of the dragon servants will soon find what they seek. Free me, and then we'll stop them. It sounded like they're trying to activate some ancient giantess artifacts, although I must admit I'm not sure why. What can I do to free you? The magic barrier holds me here and prevents me from using my abilities against our foes.
Thick dust
If
blankets this room.
ancient giantess magic,
You spy an
Korkaza
unlit
activated
rune in one of the
somehow,
corners.
and that means there must be some way to disable it nearby. Notice the 3 runes around the doorframe, and maybe by activating them will bring the magic barrier down. Understood. I'll get you out
Ergnoth
of here,
calls
and
to
that
you.
is the sound of
Remember,
Famine
activate
Reaper
the 3
somewhere.
runes on this portal to
Nar
free me.
is making his own gravy over here.
The rune starts to emit a pale glow. It matches one of the 3 runes on Ergnoth's portal.
some more ammunition because it knows what we got. Now I can have all the lost souls for spell points because I don't need them.
A dormant rune can be seen in the far corner of this room.
As you can see,
The
even with
rune
full caster
sparks to
levels, that
life
favorite
when the
soul is
lever
a
is pulled.
Very strong class. Apparently it falls off at endgame, but since I never spend more than a couple minutes at endgame anyway, I would not know. Says it falls after 20. So basically, once you get into epic levels, you're gonna start having a bad time. A lot of classes are like that. Artificer is very much probably a child for that. It is incredibly strong in 1 to 20, and then from 20 to 30, it is very not something like. Thank you.
The rune flickers to life when it is activated. Ergnonth cries, "At last I am free!" I can sense that the path to the amphitheater has collapsed. Meet me near the cave-in. I will open it for you.
They're saying it's fine if you fight Drow or Undead, but everything else sucks.
The far end of this chamber seems to be sealed by a solid wall of stone.
Thank you for freeing me. Unfortunately, the dragons have collapsed away into the amphitheater belong to keep us from following them. No doubt they've been buying time so they can reach for the giant artifact. Can you clear the rubble? Certainly, I know a spell will do just the trick.
The ground rumbles and rocks shatter as Ergnonth clears the way.
All right. And now we are going to
The crumbling stones of this ruined amphitheater are now the site of a dark ritual conducted by cultists and a fearsome black dragon.
And then I am going to run in circles and not kill this guy. Although I believe it's 19 feet now.
The black dragon flies off, bellowing for help. Master, we were thwarted at the amphitheater. I'll secure the second artifact if you'll slow these damned intruders. Ergnonth
As I was
shouts,
saying that the new epic
"Quickly,
destinies are probably
into the
going
passageway
to
to the
change
south. You'll find the second
obvious
artifact at the
weakness
end of several
in some of these
aqueducts."
classes. It's a reap party here. Okay. cycle on the spells again. Get back in my purple reaction. For those of you who don't understand the class, Alchemist, as you can see at the feet, they have this little circle, and the reactions, whether they're orange or purple or green, affect your character differently. This one for me is boosting defense. The other ones will boost your spell damage or your healing, depending on what you're trying to do. Alright. Once again, run down a hallway, bunch of guys, pull to the floor. Again, glue traps, wrong in real life, amazing for video games. Never use glue traps, they're cruel beyond measure. Nothing wrong, if you want to use a trap that just kills your pests outright, that is fine, but do not use glue traps. They are awful, awful things.
This huge aqueduct was constructed by the giants in another age.
This is another
Small rock outcroppings poke above the flowing water. An ancient blue dragon suddenly swoops over the aqueduct. A bolt of lightning from the creature strikes the water, instantly electrifying it.
And that's going to be a problem. Now, I actually can't help Nar out right now because an alchemist's spells actually only affect themselves, almost all of them. So he's going to have to make his way across carefully because I cannot help him right now. So what I will do is clear the road. The good news is that these guys running through the electrified water get hurt just as much as we do. So we can, in fact, lead them on a merry-go-round through the water, and that will kill them, but that can take a long time.
The door opens, offering refuge from Korkaza, the ancient blue dragon, and the electrified water. The cavern tunnel leads deeper into the giantish complex. A second aqueduct stands before you. Surrounding it are stone platforms in various states of repair, as well as some small stone outcroppings. A dark and ominous shape can be seen in the
Yes, I am
distance.
still using the rat catcher, as a matter of fact. There you go, there's a little screen cap for everybody.
Lightning strikes the water below,
we missed the
causing
dragon.
electricity to course through it.
But yes, the rat catcher is fantastic. And while it doesn't look all that sexy on paper, like fine control those guys. And that critical hit profile is just spectacular. As
The
you can see,
ancient platform gives way,
because I have the
exposing
level
water
12
beneath it.
Inquisitive enhancement, I've got an extended critical range, so it's a 17 to 20 times 4 critical, which is just preposterously good for a crossbow. Normally they're times 3 at this point. Alright, where am I going here? As you can see, there's not a lot of great options for getting across this water. Also, fun story. Gotta pick up that hack. You get hit with a blade trap. Apparently my spot sucks. Alright, never mind. You just have to believe me that it is in fact there.
The creature emits a guttural groan
Situations like this,
and
the rat catcher
collapses.
and my drow vermin will shine. Shoot this guy in the face. Alright, it's the electricity so you can see it doesn't in fact hurt you. That was completely on purpose. And by completely on purpose, I mean totally on.
This
not on
door
purpose.
opens into a second cavern,
Alright, here we go.
giving you a reprieve from the attentions of the
Do I
blue
see
dragon.
these traps? Yes, I do. Nope. Now shrining. Alright, while he's doing that, I'll push on ahead.
The smell of ozone and the crackle of sparks immediately tell you that electricity pulses through the water ahead. Stone platforms in various stages of disrepair surround the aqueduct.
Alright, so what happens here is we've got these 3 switches. And to open the gate at the end, we have to hit all of them. And that's a problem because they are way spread out. There's the first one here, and then there's another one in every one of these little hallways, or I don't know what you'd call it, canyons maybe, walls, pathways. They're full of these guys. So somebody has to man the switches, and then somebody has to run down and clear all this trash out.
You spot a set of 3 levers
So what
with
I'm gonna do is
signal
I'm gonna go
crystals
over here,
above
I'm gonna
them.
pull the first switch,
When this lever is pulled, a loud click reverberates off the walls of the aqueduct.
and then ask
The other
Nara
levers
actually
are
to get
now
number
at
2
the
for
top
me.
position.
These guys. There we go. Number 2 coming up. Now there's probably some guys hiding around the corner because... Yeah, there's one. And
Lightning suddenly arches across the water, followed by a harsh laugh from above.
Oop, number 2, please, Nar. There we go.
The hum of energy pulses through the walls, and a signal crystal begins to
Give me
emit a glow.
brief moment while I heal myself a little bit. And as you can see, that takes some kind of reaction. So if I do this, my reaction is now orange, which, oops, going on the other screen, gives me a bonus to my elemental spell power. If I go red again, and then go blue, and then go red again, gives me a reaction spike, which gives me a boost to my physical resistance. And that reaction spike is only a very short buff, but it is extremely strong. And if you're a very good alchemist player, you can keep that rotation happening forever. I am not that guy, but there are people who can do it.
The signal crystal lights up, and the portal in front of the ruins disappears. You can now enter the giant's temple. The third of the signal crystals begins to glow.
Looks like we're slowly on the side here. Be a boss. It's looking bad, chat. It's looking grim. Well, that could have gone a lot better. There'll be a moment while I cast some self-heals. Oh, now I showed up. Beautiful. All right. Always stay stoned, chat. Saw that coming. A smart person than me would also be using my shoot later ability, which is a huge DPS boost, and my poison shot. However, I'm not that smart. All of my guildies will attest to this.
The second sigil flickers to life, and the magic barrier fades. The way to the artifact chamber is now clear.
Looking like that particular guy. Pull it off. Looks good. Oh, there's Nar. Alright.
The imposing form of an ancient blue dragon flies away, leaving the black dragon behind. My master has escaped and the second ritual is complete,
And now
says
we'll fight
Gorlin.
the dragon a second
There's
time.
just one loose end.
Young Nar.
Time to teach you a lesson. Lightning strikes the water below, causing electricity to course through it. Lightning strikes the water below, causing electricity to course through it.
Just gotta clean up these disciples. You'd think they'd run away after you watch, they watched you kill the dragon, but nope. They're just gonna stay here and pepper you with arrows out of spite. Alright. Really well done. That went exceptionally well. And nada. All right. I've seen worse, chat. I've seen worse.